Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. I've got a bunch of different equipment, some stuff that I've sold, some stuff that I have bought, and some stuff I'm thinking about selling. And that's interesting to me. So let's talk about what I've sold. I sold my M&W dual bore slide. It had gold tubes and a nickel crook. I used this slide for like a couple years, maybe a year and a half at least, on my M&W, my Bach 50 M&W. And then working up to auditions, I was kind of like, you know what? This setup is just a little too forward, a little too bright with my bell section. And I just like could not find a mouthpiece lead pipe combo that made it make this sound in my head. And so I changed to another slide, which I still have for the moment. And after the auditions were over, I put the slide back in. I tried it on a couple things, and I was like, you know what? I don't need this. And also I was really incentivized because some guy had hit me up and he was like, hey, I really want that slide. And so I was like, you know what? I may as well. It is a bummer because it was a really, really good playing slide. It had pretty good action. It just didn't quite match my bell section. So it's kind of sad to see that go. I might regret that one because it might work better on some other bell sections that I have coming up being built. But bygones are bygones. It is sold. I also sold a bunch of mouthpieces. I have a huge mouthpiece collection. I don't necessarily like to collect things. I say that knowing how it sounds. I have a lot of mouthpieces that are not worth very much money. And then I have a few mouthpieces that are worth money. And I usually keep them around for a while to see if I really don't like them or if I want other people to try them. And I realized I had too many mouthpieces that were actually desirable that I just have not played for a long time. And so I sold a bunch of mouthpieces. I actually got another Greg Black Helleberg for tuba. I was like, you know what? Might be worth having a backup. I got it for pretty cheap. And it was the wrong shank size. It was the American shank or Euro shank. I honestly can't remember. The tuba thing is so weird to me. But the shank that I have now for my tuba is the correct one, and the one that I bought was the wrong one. So I sold that. I also got a Schilke 53. I just wanted to try it out. It's a small shank mouthpiece with a 3-sized rim. I tried it on my horns, and I was like, yeah, I don't really like it. And so I sold that immediately. And then a bunch of my other large tenor mouthpieces that I just I have so many 3-sized large tenor mouthpieces. I went through all of them and I was like, these 4 or whatever I don't need anymore. Got rid of my Lasky 90D. Just got a bunch of stuff out of the door that is taking up space and is worth, more than $100. I have a lot of mouthpieces that are not. I keep a lot of mouthpieces. I'm going to talk about this in a future video that are worth something to me, but not necessarily worth any money. That's easy to do because they don't take up a lot of space and they're worth $30 a piece. That's not a lot of sunk investment. Did I sell something else? I feel like I sold something else, but I've already forgotten. Anyway, stuff that I have bought. I got this. I can put this away. I bought this Shires B6278 YC slide. So this is the dual bore slide with a yellow crook. I've used one of these slides before. Literally 10 years ago, I borrowed one from a friend he had for his Shires to see if it would help kind of darken up the Shires I was using at the time. It did. Mainly that was me, but also the setup was just kind of not conducive to making a orchestral sound, I think. And that was the last time I played one. I've not played one of these for a long time. I wanted to see how it works on my M&W bell section. This does not match Bach's. I know that, but I also have an Edwards tenon that you can easily be put onto the slide. And I've tried it, and it's okay. I honestly don't know if it's any better than the Edwards that I'm using, which has rose outers and a brass crook. So we'll see what happens with this. I might build a Shires around it, get a valve section, bell and stuff, put all that together. I know these slides can be really good. I had one of these with a nickel crook for a long time. It was my main slide. and I sold it. So we'll see. That one might not last either. I bought some more 3-size, actually these are larger than 3-size, tenor mouthpieces. I got the Lasky Alessi 67 Symphony and Solo. I've been wanting to try these. I just have not seen them come up for sale, so I haven't played them. And so I bought both. Kind of got a package deal from someone selling them used. These are the big ones. These are not 3-sized. They're 2-sized. Like the what is it? The 1-size Greg Black Alessis. This would be like a 1.5. The other one's kind of like a 1.25. I technically should be able to play these. I play bass trombone. And they are big, but I was very surprised. I put the Solo into my 42GG, my Bach with a gold bell, and that horn came to life. It sounds great. So much color, really easy to play. It doesn't sound bright, because even though it's a solo mouthpiece, it sounds good. It sounds really good. And that horn I have had a little trouble just kind of getting to light up. It likes to play very big and very dark and very loud, but getting that from smaller volumes has been difficult. That mouthpiece does it. I'm really happy about that. And the Symphony I have here works really well in my Y-Fort to make it just kind of a little larger and darker. So really surprised. I like both of these a lot. I've played every Alessi version of mouthpiece out there. I've had the Greg Blacks, both the Alessis and the New Yorks, which are slightly different. And usually I play them for a bit, and then there's so much work, and I just can't do it anymore. Joe himself, I think, is taking things a bit easier. His mouthpieces are a little more efficient, and I've noticed this is easier to play, and I kind of like them. I'm not sure if I can use this stuff all the time. I tried to use this in quartets the other day on my Y-Fort, and it was wow, this is a big mouthpiece. Takes a lot of effort. I was only playing third trombone. I was okay, I don't need to play that all the time. My previous Mayoko grip, which I have been using on my Y-Fort, my 42GG, and my M&W, broke. The spot that would be the scariest part, kind of right here where it clamps onto the horn, finally started to separate. I didn't really notice. It was just getting less clampy. I would put it on and it would kind of wiggle. It was still working. I didn't worry about it too much. But there was one day where it was wait, you can shape these, right? And so I put it in boiling water. I made it a little bit smaller so it would clamp more. I put it on, and 5 minutes later it was already loose. And I was I don't think that's supposed to happen. And I looked, and it had separated. The 3D printing had kind of let go. I was ooh, probably shouldn't use that. And so I used, for the last 2 or 3 weeks up until the audition, I used a leather specialty strap instead, which is what I have been using forever, on my young Bach right here. But I ordered some more of these, and Joe is very cool. He sent one for free, I think, because mine broke. I ordered a bunch because I have a bunch of horns I want to use them on, and he also sent the new ones, which have a pad on the back. To be honest, I haven't even tried it yet. I like the original. It does not bother me really much at all. Even though I know people that does bother, kind of digs into the bones on the back of the hand. It just doesn't really bother me that much. But he has new ones with pads that should solve that issue. I will try this myself. I have 2 of these. I'll give it a shot. A bunch of the horns that I'm playing right now, I can't use this on. So I have not been using the Mayoko. That almost works on there, doesn't it? Maybe I should try that. I can only really use this on, again, those 3 horns, and I do use them, and I will be using the M&W soon, but the other stuff gets played a little less. So that is cool. If you're looking for these, I still highly recommend. They're $15 a pop. They're even cheaper than the leather specialty strap, which is the next cheapest thing, and it's kind of hard to go wrong. Even if it breaks, a Get a Grip was $80, and the Calder's Pips grips or something around that price. I don't know what the price is actually, but you can go through 5 of these, and it'll still be about the same price. Very happy with that. I'll talk about a couple cool things in a second. Some things I'm thinking about selling. My 78H Special. I have 4 tenor trombones that all do the same thing right now, in a variety of sizes, and I soon will have 5, if not 6. I'm holding up my other finger. I have a 36B, that's the largest one. I really like that horn. I have this. I might have another one soon, literally another 78H Special, not a 79H. And one of these again. I have a 3BF, and I have another one on the way, and I have my Yamaha 852. So that's a lot of instruments to do the same thing. Something needs to go. One of the 3BFs will be sold. I just bought another one to see how it stacks up against mine, because I know people will want them if I don't. And I have a friend who's looking for something in this size, so we'll see what happens. I like this horn a lot, and like playing it right now, I enjoy it, but I don't know how often I'm going to use it. It seems a little silly to keep something around like this that should be getting played. This one does have a couple quirks, but it's such a good trombone. We'll see. I'm still not decided, and again, I might have another one, so they'll kind of battle out. Oh yeah, there's other stuff I bought. We'll get to that in a second. My Yamaha. I'm honestly not sure about it. I think I have a problem in that this horn that I kind of put together to be a commercial bass to use at work, to use in big bands, is actually just a little too orchestral. I used this a lot when I was working on the audition. I was usually playing tenor trombone, and I would use this in the breaks to practice for the audition, and it felt really good. I liked it a lot. I was like, it's different than my M&W. It's not the same, but it's very orchestral, and I felt like I was making good progress. And then I used this yesterday at work, and it felt too orchestral. Just felt a little too big, and broad is maybe not the word I would use, but just like dark and like very centered, and just like a lot of things I just don't really need in that gig. And so I'm not sure if I should keep it around. I have another bell section being made that I'm really hoping will be a little lighter, a little snappier. And maybe I'll have another one made too, just to find out. But this horn rules. It is so good, but maybe not for the use case that I have. And for the other use case, which is orchestral stuff, I have the M&W, which is like S tier. Do I need this too? I don't know. I'm really bummed because I love this thing, but like, if it doesn't have a use, I shouldn't keep it. So that one's definitely on the chopping block. I'm going to use it on Monday in a big band, and we're going to see how that goes. I've actually used my M&W the last couple times I was there, and it was great. So do I really need this? We'll see. I also bought, this is going back in the other direction, a Marcus Bana bass trombone gig bag. You'll notice this is different than the cases. The cases keep the slide inside the main compartment. The gig bag keeps the slide on the outside. I've been like intrigued by these. They're like lighter, they're about the same size as the normal case, but they're just kind of like less stuff going on in them. Right now I have my B&S in here, which fits ish, due to where the grip is, the brace here. I actually can't get the bell all the way up against the end, so I have a pad in there instead, and the whole horn is just shifted down a little bit. But you can see it fits in here pretty well. It clamps in, and honestly doesn't move a lot. It feels good. I'm interested to see how this goes. Also interested to see if I keep this B&S. I like it a lot. I'm going to use it for my Easter gig, and we'll see how it goes from there. I love this horn. When I get it out and I'm playing extremely well, it feels amazing, but sometimes it just takes me a little too much time to get into. We'll see. But the gig bag, very interesting. See how that goes. I really like my Marcus Bana bass cases, the normal one. That's like one of my favorite cases of all time. I don't know if this is better in a significant way. Last up, honestly, the most exciting thing for me is I went to Bob Reeves Mouthpieces here in Los Angeles area. It's not actually in Los Angeles. And I got some mouthpieces cut for Doug Elliott rims. I had at least 3 mouthpieces sitting around that were useless. I had this Corporation 3G, and it had a bunch of pitting on the rim, so I could get it replated, but that's like a lot of money just for like a mouthpiece that is like okay. I have this 5GS that is an amazing player, but I can't play the 5 rim for long periods of time. And I have this Schilke 51 that was actually my wife's in college, and I think even previous to college. But again, good mouthpiece. The 51 is a copy of like a really good Bach 5G, but I can't play that rim, so it's just kind of useless. And I had the double problem that my medium bore trombones, I don't have a good mouthpiece for. My Doug Elliott setup is too small, too shallow, and the throat is too small. And then I have a small shank 3G that is great, but it's huge. Like it's not a really deep one, but it's a deep one. It's deeper than this large shank one I have. And it makes my 36 sound great, but it makes it useless for everything else. And so I really wanted to have some in-between mouthpieces with rims that I can use. What's really cool is you just take a mouthpiece to Bob Reeves, and they just machine off the rim, add some threads, and now I can use my Doug Elliott rims straight on these mouthpieces, which is just like the most exciting thing. I love Doug Elliott stuff, but it's nice not to have to buy like another cup and shank and have to dial it in. Like I know these are good mouthpiece designs, they just don't have rims that I can use. And so if you just machine them off, boom, now I can put on my 104 and I just have a mouthpiece that I can play. And this 3G, I already knew it was pretty good. I've played it a little bit with the original rim, but with the Doug Elliott rim, it is so good. It sounds amazing. It's really loud. It's easy to play in pretty much every register. It's got that just classic Bach color to it, because this is not like a super deep 3G. It's just a very normal 3G. It's so good. On the Y for it just like made that horn so good. I played a bunch of like first parts and quartet on it, and second and third, but I really liked this. So that's very exciting. Basically for the price of one of these mouthpieces, I had it cut. It's not the cheapest thing on the planet, but it means I can use them again instead of having them just take up space. I've had this 5GS forever and I love it, but I can't use it, and now I can. This is what I played on the 78H to start this video off, and it is perfect in the 36B and these other medium bore horns for just getting kind of a nice big fat commercial-ish sound, because it's basically just a 6.5 AL cup. Now it has a 3 rim on it. That's very exciting. I think that rounds it up for now. I think so. Yeah, I have a lot of cases behind me. You can't see, they're just below the camera, but I have a full set of Altieri gig bags. I have this ProTech Max. There's an Eastman back here. So many cases, and I just like don't know what to do with them. Anyway, that's all for the video today. A bunch of new stuff coming in, going out, possibly going out, and some stuff coming my way. Bye-bye.